So the first car accident I ever had, where I couldn't drive away from, shall we say. No one was injured, by the way. I just want to point that out beforehand. There was no serious injuries. So I was sort of, I don't know if I was lucky or unlucky. In my early 20s, I had a car, Sierra Cosworth. So basically, it was a Sierra Sapphire, which was like the one with the boot from Ford, and there was a tuned model, like the high-end sporty model, called the Cosworth. Cosworth are like, they do racing engines and stuff like that, and they tuned the Ford Sierra Sapphire, to be quite a vehicle really. It was second hand when I got it. I think it was about £16,000. It wasn't extremely expensive. It's pretty much impossible to insure though. Anyhow, I somehow managed to get insured, and it was a lovely car. Quite dangerous, if I'm honest. No ABS, no traction control, nothing. There was no driver assistances, and it was rear-wheel drive, and it had about 272 brake horsepower on the rear wheels. In terms of, I suppose, toys in the car itself, it had leather seats, electric windows all around, but nothing fancy really. And like I said, there was no driver aids. So this particular day was a morning commute. I was driving my father and brother to work, and then I was going to go off to work. And I stopped at some traffic lights. This is back in the UK. And that was a speed bump. Excuse me. And I set off. at the traffic lights. There's 2 lanes, and for whatever reason, I may have been a bit heavy on the accelerator, and it took off pretty well. And then all of a sudden, it literally veered 90 degrees to the right. There was like a curb in the middle of the road that I hit, and there was a metal barrier type thing, a fence, railings. So I hit it with pretty front on, if you like. I pretty much had gone 90 degrees. I don't know if I was going very fast, but one of the memories I can still see it to this day is as my front end hit the railing, all the glass, and it was glass in those days, the headlights, shattered, and I saw these fragments of glass flying up in the air. And as I hit the barrier, what was very fortuitous was one of my tyres hit the curb, and I bounced off it and ended up going backwards, twisting motion, and facing the direction I came. That's where I came to rest. I mean, it all happened in a fraction of a second. So basically, I'd lost control under acceleration, and it was just so quick. I mean, maybe if you was expecting it to happen, you'd be able to stop it, but I wasn't. So my glasses came off. That gives you an indication of just how violent the twisted motion of the car must have been, that my glasses came off and they were in the footwell. I had to go rooting for them. It was all blurred, obviously. We were all okay, no injuries. And then my first reaction, I'm looking at the traffic at this stage because I'm facing the wrong way, was to start the engine, and I have to say it didn't start. It's only when I got out I realised probably why it wouldn't start. Well, I think the fuel had cut off. There's a special device that cuts off the fuel when you're in an impact, but also pretty much from the front of the tyre to the front bumper had disappeared. There was nothing there. I could see the radiator, which had moved, and the engine, the belts and stuff. And the bumper had disappeared, the headlights are gone, there's nothing there.